are, week 6, and it's probably an indication of what's to come. I mean, look what happened in a kind of an off week in like college football. Like, they didn't seem like they had a whole lot of big opportunities for big games. But we had some excitement. But leading the chart was Penn State traveled 3,000 miles to have their program dismantled.
No.
And, you know, James Franklin was on the hot seat, technically, for losing to Oregon. They finally noticed he's never beaten a good team. And then James Franklin said, hey, I can lose to a bad team, too.
No!
I don't know how much travel had to do with that. I mean, 3,000 miles to play a football game against a dead program? Pretty hard to get anybody motivated. There's no excuse for that one. But I'm sure it ruined quite a few parlays across the country. A lot of people upset about that one.
Oh, no.
Texas, despite Billy Napier's effort to give it back to them, they got beat. Arch Manning doesn't seem to be the real deal. Maybe he could still make it as a middle relief pitcher. The Braves could probably use a good sidearm guy.
No.
So it comes down to what I've just about deduced, and I said it before the season. I said it last year, as a matter of fact, that they aren't any good teams. It's very possible that I'm right. Now, that might change as these collection of athletes get a few games under their belts. You might actually have some good football teams before the season's over. But just the way the game is developed now, it's pretty hard to get a football team together the way we do talent. I mean, you go pick up 10, 20 in the portal routinely. Everybody that's actually going to start, about half the rosters across the country don't know each other, and they expect that to turn into a football team. So hopefully we'll get the circus organized pretty soon. Georgia beat Kentucky. What to make of that game, I don't know. They still covered the under, so you can still bet against Bobo and win every time.
No.
And something almost didn't cover the spread. Looked like maybe they were trying to make that happen too. Who knows? Probably didn't care. But Georgia didn't really fix their problems. It just played a really bad Kentucky team. Georgia probably got an embarrassing game in the future. We don't know what we have at Georgia. I don't think anybody does. I'm not even sure if Ohio State actually is legit. The state of college football in week 6 is very interesting. The rankings certainly don't mean anything. We hype teams up all summer based on what people think they're going to be, and then they actually play. And you know, it's just football. It takes a lot of chemistry to play a good football game. And these teams, that the way they get put together, I'm not sure we're going to see a good team. Now, can the sport survive long enough to find out? That's up in the air. A lot of people I've talked to really are just signing off on it. They're just not interested. And maybe something will happen to make the season gel into something people care about. But week 6, everything's still quite a mess in college football. So, which fan base in the country has it the worst? Who's got the worst deal? Well, a lot of fan bases probably have raw deals at the moment. Penn State probably not too happy at the moment. I'm sure Texas fans aren't happy at the moment. But overall, which fan base is getting the worst deal? We'll talk about it. We can look at all the standings. Obviously, if you go through the SEC standings, the bottom 5, you got all kind of fans that don't really get a good deal. Like South Carolina fans probably don't get a good deal. I mean, they buy tickets, they fill the place up, they donate. They got a lot of money, it seems. I mean, or they have enough, but they don't ever seem to have a really good team. And when they ever get something put together, it falls apart really quick. South Carolina fans are definitely in the running for having it the worst. They probably do. You could say Mississippi State fans have it pretty bad, but really, come on. They don't really have it that bad. Nobody expects anything there. They win a game, they're happy. Arkansas fans could complain that they have it bad. But they're going to hire Bobby Petrino back, so it's your own fault. No sympathy there. Texas fans may have it pretty bad, but at least right now. But I mean, you can't say they have it bad. They got the most money. They got everything. They get all the recruits. It's bound to turn out well for Texas at some point. Oklahoma fans might have it bad because they don't know what to expect. They think they're a good team this year. They might be. So Oklahoma fans really aren't in that bad a shape. Florida fans might be in the running for having it the worst. I mean, they've got Billy Napier, and they just can't get rid of him. Every time it's obviously time to fire him, he goes out and knocks off a giant. He might knock off another one. He could beat Georgia. I mean, it could beat Georgia. They got a good defense. I don't know that that's going to be an easy game. Billy Napier probably won't get fired. Should he be fired? I don't know. Probably. If they can get a big-name coach to come in, then they might get rid of him. But he's probably going to be here for the rest of the season. And you give him that much time with old Sunbelt Billy, he's liable to surprise you with a who knows what he'll do. Who knows what Sunbelt Billy is going to do down in Florida. But the Florida fans probably have it pretty bad. I'm going to keep them in the running for the fan bases that have it the worst. We're going to try to sell it down to the 5 worst. And so far, we think Florida's in there. South Carolina's in there. That's 2 in the SEC that have it really bad. I'm going to keep Georgia in the mix because I think they have it pretty bad. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I can't keep Georgia out of the mix. Why? Well, Georgia fans have it really bad right now because they don't know what's going to happen. They really don't know. I mean, back in the Mark Richt days, it was the same thing. You never knew what was going to happen. And the press would talk about you. They pop you up and you're ranked. And then you lay an egg. And you're liable to do that against any team. But that's with Mike Bobo. And unless Georgia gets rid of Mike Bobo, Georgia fans are right there in the mix for the worst. Fans that have it the worst. So Georgia's still in there. So in the SEC, you got South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia that have it the worst. You might could throw Auburn in there too, because they have old Yellowwood that's going to always ruin whatever Auburn takes on. But I think they might have given up. They're a basketball school now, so anything football does is a bonus. But we can keep them in there. And then let's go to across the country. Penn State fans probably have it pretty bad, but it's just hard to feel bad that they have it the worst.
No.
I think every Big Ten team has a real problem. They're getting money now. They're trying to make it a major conference. That's the plan. Is to have the SEC and the Big Ten as the main event. But you know what? There's a little problem with that. Yeah, they get in some teams because they can buy them now and they have a little money. The fans aren't caring. They don't watch the games. They can't get them to be. They can't make them be watched, and nobody cares. And that's going to keep going. So the Big Ten, every school has a problem. Specifically, which ones have the worst problem, worst fan base in the Big Ten that has the worst deal, got to be Penn State. Keep them in the list. Southern Cal fans have it pretty bad. I mean, they've got a rich tradition. They expect to win, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say if they'll ever get it together. So they have it bad. Any Big 12 fan base has it kind of bad because it's the Big 12. I mean, it's a battle. Clemson fans have it pretty bad because they're probably never going to get rid of Dabo. His little shadow will be over that program even if he were to leave. So Clemson has it pretty bad. You can also say Miami might have it pretty bad, but this year they might actually have it pretty good. This year they may have it pretty good, but they've had it bad. So maybe Miami's going to get off that list of the worst fan situation. Not the worst fans, just the worst situation for a fan to be in. So those are your teams and fan bases that have it really bad. Type in your comments if you can think of one that I might have missed. I probably missed a bunch of them. Probably didn't even cover the nut. But, you know, when you say a fan base has it bad, what you're talking about is that their what they put into it and what they get out of it is kind of how I was looking at it. And that's why I think Georgia fans are kind of in for a long bad time unless they can get their program to match the intensity of the fans. They got their best fans. I mean, nobody gives to their program like Georgia fans. They donate good, they attend, they defend their organization, but they're not really being supported right now with good decisions. It doesn't look like we are really headed to being an elite program down the road, even though everything is laid out for that to happen. So the Kirby Smart situation of Georgia could end up being just like Dabo. That's why we're on the list. Now, it's easy to knock teams down when they're down. You know, in Penn State and Texas right now, today, this Sunday morning, and this week, and probably the rest of the season, I think those two fan bases might actually have it the worst at the moment.